Now that our bracket is complete, radiused and with its webs and flanges ready to attach, we need to get it at the right height, at least to start. In a top view or a floor plan, looks good. The center point is offset for a 6-inch pipe column, but in a front view, this bench is a little high. We're looking at probably about 4 feet up here, give or take. What I'll do is select all the objects, including the void here, and double-click on the Move tool, which gives me some additional options. And I'm going to move referencing a corner here, and I have no idea really how tall this is off the floor. And so what I'll do is I'm going to pull it down parallel to snap down to the floor, vertical and nearest. And then I'll double-click on Move again and go from the floor and up cleanly at 90 degrees. Here's 14 inches. That should work pretty nicely. And I'm still, if I look here in the floor plan, I'm still in the right place relative to the center point. So double-clicking on the Move tool affords us some additional options. Now it's time to make this a family so we can load it into our project. I'll go up to my wheel and hit Home here. Okay, so what I'll do is go in and select these elements, and up here I'd like to modify things like the family type or the category and parameters and be able to identify this uniquely, and I'll go in there. This is a generic model. That's good. It is work plane based if we want it to be. That's really up to you or not. I'm going to make this one actually not, but it will always be vertical, and that way they always stand upright. But we can maneuver it around on various work planes if we'd like. Actually, let's go ahead and do that. And OK. And there's other things we can check in here. Is it shared in class and so forth? Hit OK. And again, I'll select it. And now down in Family Types, I'm going to call it Steel Support, and I will say here the default elevation for it is 1 foot 3. And if there's any other data I'd like to put in, who made it, how much, etc., etc., and I will apply this and hit OK. And now when I do a load into project here, have a version in from running through this once. In my project, if I go to place a component, so under component, place a component, I'll zoom in. It looks like it's starting out on a desk, but I will drop down into the properties, and there are my bench supports, and here is my steel support. And, bench supports. There we go. And I want to make sure up here, the reason it's giving me the you can't symbol is I want to place it on a work plane. There we go. And I am relative to any particular work plane, and I'm going to go in and place this to start right there on the center point, midpoint and midpoint of that pole. And then I can go and rotate it around and place them all in. And so the last thing I'll show here is going to rotate. I'm going to pick its rotation center, and I'm going to put it right there on the end point, and I will start here at 0, and I'm going to rotate a clean, come back here, 90 degrees, and there's my element. And it's ready to clone, ready to place others, ready to move around. And in fact, it's even ready to move onto the correct pole. I realize I placed that slightly off here, and that's not a problem to fix. But there is my bench support ready to accommodate the piping. So I need to move this over by 1 pole. Again, not a big deal to do with the Move tool. And in the next lesson, finish out the piping for the bench.